Hey everybody, it's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. We have something a little different this week to share with you. It is 50 Royal Caribbean questions asked by you guys, actually our Royal Caribbean Blog insiders, Royal Caribbean Blog message board users, send me questions all the time. And so I've accumulated 50 questions to answer, and I'm going to see if I can answer them in about 10 minutes. Best type of cabana for a family with a small child. I think that any of the cabanas are great choices for families. If you're at Perfect Day Coco Cay, I recommend the Thrill Water Park cabana because it includes admission there. Otherwise, I might recommend at Labadee the beach cabana. I think over the water is a bad idea for a small child. Best non-Oasis or Quantum class ship besides Navigator and Mariner for a veteran cruiser to try. Brilliance of the Seas. Radiance class, fantastic. You will love that. And of course, the Freedom class. Don't overlook that. Freedom of the Seas, Liberty, Independence of the Seas. Fantastic choices. Best drink on a Royal Caribbean ship. Lava Flow with Kraken rum. Make sure you specify that. It will change your life. How is Labadee better than Coco Cay? I used to think that was the case, but now with Perfect Day Coco Cay, that's all changed. I think Perfect Day Coco Cay is the way to go. Have you ever taken a Disney cruise? Yes. My first cruises actually were on Disney Cruise Line. Then they got super expensive and I stopped cruising and I came over to Royal Caribbean. What cruise will make me fly? You know, that's a really good one. For a while, I was of the opinion that I hate flying and I didn't want to do it, but Alaska will be worth it and it is worth it and you should do it. Alaska cruises are fantastic. If you were able to pick your first post-COVID cruise, what ship would it be on and why? You know, that's a really good question. I would probably, at this point, I'd take almost anything. But if I had to choose one, going back to Alaska, that one was canceled. That really hurt. I would love to go to Alaska again. And also, one of our canceled cruises was Brilliance of the Seas to Canada and New England. Would love to go back there. What do you do on a cruise when no one is looking? This is fun. What might be double dipping? I'm a double dipper. Can you bring your own floating device to Coco Cay? You cannot, actually. Which destination is still on your bucket list? Europe is a big one. Panama Canal, that's another one. I think actually Panama Canal will be number one. Are there any onboard activities which you haven't tried that you really want to try? Yes, absolutely. In fact, the rock climbing wall, believe it or not, is like the one thing I have never done that I really want to try. So at some point, I'm going to do it. I just haven't found an opportunity to yet. Do you know why Vintages doesn't offer individual aeration by glass? They're the wine bar. I don't know why that's the case, quite frankly. I don't even know what aeration is. What was the first thing you do after boarding the ship? Oh, that's easy. I eat. I always go to the Windjammer. I might go to Park Cafe, but I definitely eat. That's the first thing. In fact, a lot of times I skip breakfast that day in order to more enjoy my food on board the ship. Are there any 24-hour hot tubs, whirlpools open on Oasis class ships? There is usually at least one hot tub and one pool open throughout the day and evening. Is a cabin near the elevator noisy? No, I used to think that was the case, but really it's not. The rooms are very well insulated from that. What's the port you're most likely to stay on board on? I think Falmouth, Jamaica, just because so many of the great things to do in Falmouth are just too far away. And if I'm gonna take a break, I think that'd be the one to do it on. Why should I book specialty restaurants if the food in the main dining room is included? Why pay more? You know, what it really comes down to is, I think, different cooking styles and cuisines not available in the main dining room. Is it too cold at Coco Cay on New Year's Day to enjoy the beach and ocean? Generally not. It can be if a cold front does come through, but more often than not, it is warm enough. And you come from a northern state, I'm sure you won't have any problems at all. Us Floridians are big babies, but everybody else seems to enjoy the water regardless. Hot Rocks and DX Sushi Combo or Hibachi and DX Sushi Combo? Hibachi, man. Hibachi and DX Sushi Combo are the way to go. I love Hot Rocks, but Hibachi is by and far the best way to go if you're dining at Izumi. Is every purchase at any ship shop duty-free? There are duty-free shops that are specified that case, but I'm not going to go as far to say that every single purchase is duty-free. I think it does depend. Why doesn't Royal Caribbean go to Trinidad? A lot of it has to do with either a couple things. Number one, the distance away. Trinidad is pretty far away from most of Royal Caribbean's embarkation ports, and most of Royal Caribbean's cruises in the Caribbean are not very long, certainly not longer than a week or so. So you're dealing with logistics more than anything. And secondarily, of course, the ability of the port to be able to support Royal Caribbean ships. They're bigger ships. Some of the other ports, older ports perhaps even, can't support some of those larger vessels. Can you know before you book whether there is a themed cruise also booked for your sail date? Royal Caribbean does not divulge that if there is a group on board. In fact, there's going to be groups on board. This question is how big, how many. But really, Google is your friend. What I recommend doing is searching for your ship name, the sail date, and seeing what results come back. Usually, if there is a group, you'll be able to find that there. Does the ship have washers and dryers? They do not. You can send your clothing out for laundry or dry cleaning, but there are no self-service laundry facilities on board the ship. Does the crew really get all my prepaid tip money? They do. It is split up among them. Yeah, as far as we know, everything Royal Caribbean has told us, that is the case. And of course, if you're ordering drinks with your drink package, the more orders they take, the bigger part of the pool they get as well. Best spot for sail away. If your ship offers it, the helipad. Otherwise, anywhere really on the pool deck is a great choice. You get a nice view. Thoughts on air to sea? That's Royal Caribbean's airfare program. If you're flying internationally, I think it's worth taking a look at, especially because if there's ever an issue with your cruise, like it gets canceled or delayed, Royal Caribbean steps in and helps you out. Best and easiest cruise port to access and navigate on embarkation day and disembarkation day. I think Port Miami. Terminal A in Port Miami is amazing. It is so easy. Even if you're on an Oasis class ship, it's phenomenal. Are there any open sessions to use the Flow Rider, and if so, what's the typical average wait time in your experience? Yes, the Flow Rider more often than not is available to everybody on a first come, first served basis. There are some private sessions, but generally speaking, it really depends on the time of day, weather, and what else is happening on board the ship. Looking for the best time to go on the Flow Rider, it is definitely while your ship is in port, because a lot of other people are not on board the ship that day. And the next best time, by the way, for the Flow Rider, embarkation day. Nobody uses it on the first day, so that's a great time. Is there a pattern to when the best deals on Royal Caribbean are typically available, either cruise price or cruise planner options? If you're looking for the best possible cruise price, you definitely want to book it as early as you can. 12, 18, 24 months ahead of time. The earlier you book, the better the price will be for your cruise fare. In terms of cruise planner purchase, like drink packages, shore excursions, etc., I recommend just booking it as soon as you know you want to do it, and then you can always cancel and rebook with no penalty for cruise planner purchases. If I have kids in Adventure Ocean, how do they contact me in case of an emergency while on the ship? You know, they'll use the PA system at the very least to be able to page you on there. If you're on a shore excursion, I'll be perfectly honest, I have no idea how they get a contact of you if there's an emergency. I mean, I think the chances of it are pretty low of them being in an emergency on board. But on board the ship, they can page you, and there's no problem at all. Do you know the words of the Wash Your Hands song? Wash your hands, it's the right thing to do. Something, something, make your mother proud. No, I don't. What is your favorite smaller ship? Brilliance of the Seas. Do you have a favorite port? Cozumel, San Juan, Puerto Rico. High deck or low deck, forward, after, mid for cabin location. Doesn't matter. I think generally speaking, it's good to be in the middle, but don't worry too much about where your room is. I think it's more a question of how close are you to elevators and is there a venue you want to be close to? But in the grand scheme of things, if you don't really know or don't care, that doesn't matter. Have you started planning the 2022 Royal Caribbean Blog group cruises yet? What ships and where? Not yet. I'm waiting for Royal Caribbean to really announce more 2022 itineraries first. Is there any method to get lower fares for a last-minute cruise? Really, it's just a matter of being eagle-eyed, checking constantly about 6 to 8 weeks before your sail date, looking for going, gone rates, having a good travel agent, and quite frankly, just being lucky. Do I need to pay for a balcony? Is a balcony worth it? It is really nice to have. If it's the difference between going on a cruise or not being able to afford going on a cruise, go in an inside room. Inside rooms are fine, but if you got the money to spare and if it's not too much more money, balcony is a great upgrade. Is the key worth it? I've done a YouTube video about that. I'll post it in our comments here below, but I'll tell you that I don't think it's worth it. Will I get seasick? Will there be motion? There will be a little bit of motion, but I think really the chances of you getting seasick are really low. Is babysitting available? There is kids programming in Adventure Ocean, and there's also babysitting for kids 36 months and under in the nursery. That does cost money in the nursery. Adventure Ocean is mostly complimentary except for late night stays. But they discontinued the in-room babysitting that they used to offer for a number of years. Should I take my passport with me when visiting a port of call? Yes, people are going to be angry at me, but you're wrong. Take your passport with you when you're off the ship. Do I need a passport to cruise? Depending on where you live and your residency, you may or may not. Americans can cruise without a passport and just use a birth certificate and state-issued ID if you're doing a round-trip cruise out of the United States. But I use a passport. Everyone should use a passport. Get a passport. Should I buy the drink package? It really depends on how much you drink. It can absolutely positively save you money, but it really depends on your style and how you cruise. Is the water on board safe to drink? I think the water on board is safer to drink than probably the water in your house. Should I book shore excursions through the cruise line? I think it's worth looking at what Royal Caribbean offers and what you can book on your own and then decide which one is best for you. Which venue or entertainment option would be best for a date night in Oasis of the Seas, a walk through Central Park, and then dinner at 150 Central Park? Because they're smaller ships, what's unique about Majesty and Empress? They're old school, classic style cruising. What happens if I'm late getting back to the ship at a port of call? If you book through Royal Caribbean a shore excursion, they'll wait for you and Royal Caribbean will get you back on board the ship. If you did something on your own, they're going to leave without you. And our last question, do I need to make reservations for entertainment? If you're on an Oasis or Quantum class ship, the answer is you can and you should. It's just going to make your life a whole lot easier. On other ships in the fleet, you can't, so it's not really an issue, and you won't have much of an issue. Just show up early for your entertainment times, you'll have no problem at all. All right, there you go. I don't know if I hit 10 minutes or not until I edit this video down, but thank you for the questions. If you have more questions that I did not answer, post them in the comments below. I'll try to answer as many as I can in there. Maybe we'll do another video like this. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like this video, hit the subscribe button, and make sure you turn on the bell notification so that way YouTube lets you know we have a brand new video. This has been Nat from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, and we'll talk again real soon.